It's me again. I'm here to visit Goethe's Wohnungshaus, which is where he lived as an adult. I'm gonna try some street food today, and then I'm gonna go to Goethe's house. So I ordered some currywurst and cheese balls. So that's the currywurst, and that's kind of a German traditional snack food. And those are my cheese balls here. It's basically like a barbecue sauce. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just like I don't really like sweet things. I mean, I can eat it, but I wouldn't like be a big fan of it or anything. Beer makes everything taste good. Okay, next I'm gonna try these cheese balls. Actually, they're not cheese balls. They're mac and cheese balls. Basically mac and cheese inside, fried into like a ball. I would like it to be crispier, but I think it's pretty good. The mac and cheese itself is a pretty tasty combination. Could be kind of cheesier too, and like more fried. I'll make a video about the tipping culture. So here's actually the bill, and those are the cheese balls, that's the beer, and that's the currywurst. And it says MWS here, and it says 19%. That's basically the sales tax. It's also in England. The value added tax, I think it's 20% in England. So that's what this is. So that's basically a 19% tax on the food. Now, this number here has the tax added onto it already. So the actual cost of the total food before the value added tax is €11.18. And 19% of €11.18 is €2.12. And combine that, and you get a total of $13.30. So this number is the sum of these numbers here. And so these numbers actually already include the tax in the number here. And so that's how it comes out to $13.30. Okay, so now I want to make my point, which is that in America, the sales tax at restaurants is usually about 7 point something percent. Let's just call it 8, just make it easy, okay? So if you pay 15% tip and 8% sales tax, you're gonna end up paying 23% of the actual cost of the meal. And 15% tip is pretty average, right, in America. Take that and compare that to in Germany. If you were to pay for a meal and it includes the 19% tax, and then the standard tip, like at a restaurant in Germany, is about 10%, usually, maybe 5 to 10%. You're gonna end up paying in total 29% of the actual cost of the meal. So compare those numbers. You have 23% in America with a 15% tip and 8% sales tax versus a 19% sales tax and a 10% tip. And it ends up being that you're actually paying more in Germany because you're paying 29% of the actual cost of the bill, whereas in America, 23%. So that's something to think about. And I feel like people just don't do the math. They think about like the tip and they're like, oh wow, you're paying like 15-20% for the tip. That seems outrageous, but actually it ends up being less or about the same. If you pay 20% tip, it ends up being about the same as in Germany, probably 1% less actually, even if you pay less tip because you're paying more in tax to the state. It doesn't matter where the money's going to. It's just reversed. In America, you give the 20% tip to the server and the 8% tip to the government. In Germany, you give the 8% tip to the server and the 20% tip to the government. 20% tip to the government on everything you buy. I thought Germans were supposed to be good with numbers. What happened? A lot of the museums you visit in Germany, you have to put your things into lockers like this. They have here a collection of Goethe's face, starting from when he was a young man to when he was much older. Here's what the murderer looks like. I've been given like a little audio guide. Goethe used to be a tenant in this building here, but the whole building was gifted to him at some point. Apparently he even had rooms where Basically, the whole room was dedicated to his art collection, whether it was paintings or sculptures. That's Pericles. That could be anyone. Basically turned the house into a museum. I didn't know this about Goethe, but actually he was quite good at drawing. Here's one he drew of his sleeping wife. Here's Goethe's bedroom toward the end of his life. And that leads into his study where he wrote. Supposed to have actually died in that armchair right there. What you get for killing Christ. I'm walking through the garden. So pretty. There's the house. It's so cute. It's actually really big inside. It's a really big house, but it has like a cottage feel to it. Such a weird way to connect buildings. Like, look at that corner over there. Hey there, little guy. Look, here's a gate that goes out somewhere from the garden. Yay, this just managed. I visited Goethe's Wohnhaus in Weimar. One of the things I wanted to do in Germany for a long time. I finally did it. Good for me. I'm just gonna walk around and then head back to Frankfurt. Cute buildings here too. Schokoladchen. There's a water fountain beside it. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.